I think the discussions yesterday and also this morning confirmed that IP plays a key role in innovation, and be it closed innovation or open innovation. IP enables technology to be packaged and to be traded and to be exchanged and to be shared with others. And it also creates a platform for creating new businesses. And by that, it creates growth, jobs, welfare, and wealth. And then still, if it is such an important issue, why is it that in many companies IP is not addressed as an issue at the highest level in the boardroom? And this has been a topic of many discussions recently in the IP area. For those of you who are following the discussions about the topic in the AEM magazine, and also those who have attended the IPBC conference in Chicago recently, have seen that this is a widely debated topic. And they say, well, if this is such an important issue, it should also be managed at the highest level in a company and should be managed by a C-suite executive. And that's the whole discussion about the CIP. But still, many companies struggle with this issue, and if I talk to colleagues in other IP organizations in industry, there are many that say, yeah, we advocate the message, but still we have a problem in getting the attention of upper levels. It's difficult to raise their awareness for the topic. So I will share with you some of my experience over the last 10 years. So suppose that as a IP person, and you arrive in the morning at your company, and on the parking lot you run into your CEO, and you start a discussion about, well, who you are, what you're doing, and then at a certain point in the discussion in the lobby, you make a statement, well, IP is one of our company's most valuable assets. And that is, of course, a very popular sentence. If you read many articles about IP, I think about 90% quote this type of sentence in some way or another. And it is driven by the fact that if you look at the valuation of companies, nowadays 70–80% is in the intangibles. And IP forms a large part of the intangibles, so by definition people say, well, IP should have a large value. But how do you think that the CEO will react on this? Does he recognize that sentence, that statement? Or will he be completely puzzled? Well, I tend to say, well, he will be puzzled. In most companies, I think. And why is that? Well, I think that he will have a number of key questions. He will ask himself, well, how does these assets work for my company? How does these assets contribute to the bottom line? And you can also say it differently if you're a publicly traded company. How do these assets trade shareholder value? And he will not have immediately the answers if you don't provide him the answers. So if you invest in IP, I think the only justification for doing that is that if you capture value from these assets that exceeds the money that you invest in it. And that's not always easy to demonstrate. But it is up to the IP people to show the evidence in clear terms to the people that are sitting in the board of their companies. And the only terms that they really understand and that are focused on are money terms. So you have to provide the evidence for that, and that is the challenge.